On January 13, 2015, a Cessna 152, registered as November 757 Zulu Mike, took off from Massey Ranch Airpark in Edgewater, Florida, for what was supposed to be a routine local night flight. Mihoko Tabata, prepared and ready, embarked on her journey, unaware that she was heading straight into disaster. What followed was not just tragic, it was entirely preventable. A single avoidable mistake set off a chain of events that sealed her fate. Here's what happened. The aircraft was a 1977 model powered by a Lycoming O-235-L2C engine, producing 110 horsepower. Owned by a private company, the Cessna had undergone its most recent annual inspection on October 27, 2014, at 502.1 hours of tachometer time, with the aircraft accumulating 525.8 hours at the time of the flight. The pilot, Mihoko Tabata, was a 38-year-old commercial aviator from Japan. She held a commercial pilot certificate with ratings for single-engine land, multi-engine land, and instrument airplanes. She had accumulated approximately 416 total flight hours, including about 1.3 hours of night flying and 6.1 hours of actual instrument time. On November 19, 2014, she had successfully completed a flight review and an instrument proficiency check in a Cessna 152 in Torrance, California. In early 2015, Mihoko traveled to Florida to build additional flight hours, purchasing a block of flight time from Flight Time Building LLC. However, an instructor who flew with her the day before the flight had not approved her for solo operations due to concerns over her landing performance. Despite this, she proceeded with solo flights without the company's knowledge. The aircraft took off under visual flight rules without a filed flight plan. Shortly after departure, it encountered deteriorating weather conditions, forcing the pilot into instrument meteorological conditions. Without adequate reference to the horizon, she likely experienced spatial disorientation. 7 minutes after takeoff, she reached out for assistance, expressing uncertainty about her location and an urgent need to land.
Golf Stream 555, Golf Victor. Can you read American 1565?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I don't know where I am. I want to land.
Doesn't know where they at. Are they at 1,700? Squawking emergency 12 and 1200. I guess.
I want to land to Massey Airport. Again. Try heading to 270. Programmed mile and a half. Coming crowd.
A nearby air traffic controller intercepted her distress call and established communication. The pilot initially reported being able to see the ground, but was unable to maintain visual flight conditions. The controller attempted to guide her towards a nearby airport, instructing her to turn in its direction. At one point, she briefly spotted the airport, only to lose sight of it moments later. As she struggled to navigate, efforts were made to transfer her communication to a different air traffic control frequency, but confusion over the correct frequency caused further difficulties.
That's the airport. Ah, yes, I see airport. I understand. Okay, thank you. I can see airport. I can see.
After multiple failed attempts to establish contact on the designated frequency, she reconnected with controllers through the emergency frequency, where she confirmed she could hear them. The controllers reassured her, instructing her to remain calm and maintain altitude. They provided clear directions, guiding her northbound towards the airport, emphasizing that all available runway lights had been set to high intensity to aid her in spotting the airfield.
Hello? Hello?
Ma'am, can you hear me? This is Daytona Approach Control, on guard frequency. Can you hear me?
12525. Hello?
Can you hear me?
12525, no one contact.
Okay, can you hear me, ma'am?
2525, no contact.
Okay, don't worry, just stay on this frequency. You're all right. Maintain your present altitude. Yeah. I think she's on the wrong frequency. Yeah, I've got guards. All right. Aircraft.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, just stay calm, maintain your present altitude, and New Smyrna Beach, if you turn right, continue a right turn northbound. New Smyrna will be off your right side. They've got all the lights turned up. Let me know if you see the lights.
Despite these efforts, she remained disoriented, reporting her current heading and seeking further guidance. Controllers instructed her to turn left to align with the airport's position, advising her that she was only about 1.5 miles away. As confusion persisted, they clarified the necessary heading adjustments and reassured her that she did not need to read back transmissions, only to follow the instructions. The pilot acknowledged the heading change and continued attempting to navigate.
Heading is now 100. Which heading do I need?
Okay, ma'am, if you can take a heading, turn left, heading 360. A left turn northbound, heading 360, and New Smyrna Beach will be at your 12 o'clock off your front in about 1.5 miles.
12 o'clock, mile and a half.
You don't have to read anything back, ma'am. Just make the turn and let me know if you see the lights on. That'll be New Smyrna Beach Airport. When you make that left turn, it'll be ahead and to your left.
I need the left turn 300, right?
Just continue a left turn heading 360. Once you're established on a northbound heading, New Smyrna will be ahead and to the left, about 1 mile, 1.5 miles. Let me know if you see the light.
360.
Yes, ma'am, heading 360. Once you're on that heading, New Smyrna Beach will now be at your probably like 11 o'clock and 1 mile.
So far, does it from runway?
If you see the runway lights, you can continue for New Smyrna, land any runway.
As she descended to a dangerously low altitude, controllers urged her to maintain at least 1,000 feet and to inform them when she felt stable. She briefly acknowledged the instruction but soon reported being inside the clouds. Recognizing the risk of further disorientation, controllers encouraged her to stay calm, reassuring her that it was okay to be in the clouds, but that she needed to climb. They continued to provide instructions, emphasizing the importance of maintaining altitude.
I am 600 altitude.
Okay, maintain your altitude, ma'am. Maintain your altitude until you see the airport.
I'm in crowd.
Okay, don't worry, ma'am. Just calm down. Make a left turn. If you can. Climb, though. I need you to climb. You're descending. It's okay if you're in the clouds, but I need you to climb. I want you to climb.
Climb.
Are you climbing, ma'am? I need you to climb. I need you to maintain at least 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet.
Yes. Climb, and let me know when you feel comfortable. But I need you to climb some more.
Moments later, radar data showed the aircraft entering a descending right turn. Controllers made repeated calls, urging her to climb and maintain stability, but there was no response.
Ma'am, can you hear me? Are you still there? Ma'am, are you still there? Can you hear me? Ma'am, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please contact me. Please say something.
you guys lose her on radar?
Radar and radio contact were lost. The aircraft crashed into shallow waters near the shoreline. Emergency responders arrived quickly in an attempt to provide assistance, but the flight had ended in tragedy. After approximately 2.2 years of investigation, the NTSB ultimately concluded that the accident was caused by the pilot's failure to maintain control of the airplane while operating under visual flight rules in night instrument meteorological conditions, likely due to spatial disorientation. A contributing factor was the radar controller's failure to follow published guidance for assisting VFR pilots experiencing difficulty in instrument conditions. Flying is an incredible privilege, but it comes with the responsibility to make sound decisions before and during a flight. This accident, while tragic, offers valuable lessons for all pilots, especially those still building experience. By understanding what went wrong, we can learn how to avoid similar situations in the future. One of the first issues in this flight was that the pilot had not yet been signed off for solo operations. Her instructor had noted that she needed to improve her landings before being approved, yet she proceeded to conduct multiple solo flights without informing the flight school. While enthusiasm for flying is commendable, skipping steps in training can put a pilot in situations they are not fully prepared for. The checkout process exists to ensure that a pilot has the necessary skills to handle different scenarios safely. Had she waited for proper authorization, she might have received additional training that could have helped her navigate the challenges she later encountered. Pre-flight planning is another critical part of flying safely, and in this case, the pilot took off without filing a flight plan or properly checking the weather. At night, even familiar areas can look completely different, and when clouds roll in, it's easy to become disoriented. Unfortunately, she flew into instrument meteorological conditions, where visual references were lost, increasing the risk of spatial disorientation. Without instrument training, flying in these conditions is like suddenly being in a dark room with no idea where the walls are. Losing a sense of direction happens quickly. A better choice would have been to check the forecast beforehand and recognize that poor weather and night flying can be a dangerous combination for a pilot who is not instrument rated. Once airborne, she quickly became uncertain of her position, which is a stressful situation for any pilot. To her credit, she reached out for help, but her communication was not always clear, making it difficult for air traffic controllers to assist her efficiently. Instead of providing structured responses, she repeatedly said, "Hello," which delayed critical information exchange. Another issue arose when she was given a new frequency, but accidentally tuned into the wrong one. These small missteps added unnecessary confusion to an already challenging situation. A simple way to prevent this would have been to read back ATC instructions carefully and confirm frequency changes before switching. Altitude management became another challenge during the flight. Despite ATC's instructions to maintain at least 1,000 feet, she descended to 600 feet while still in the clouds. Losing altitude unexpectedly in IAMC is extremely dangerous, as it reduces reaction time and increases the risk of controlled flight into terrain. A strong habit for pilots in this situation is to focus on their instruments, especially the attitude indicator, and trust them even when their instincts suggest otherwise. Climbing out of the clouds would have given her more time to regain control and see the airport lights more clearly. As the flight continued, ATC provided guidance to help her reach a safe landing, but she seemed unsure of her headings and struggled to follow instructions. Radar data later showed that the airplane entered a descending right turn before impact, a classic sign of spatial disorientation. Without visual references, a pilot can unknowingly enter a graveyard spiral where the plane turns tighter while descending, eventually leading to a loss of control. Recognizing the early signs of disorientation and immediately leveling the wings while climbing can be life-saving in these situations. This flight was a series of small but compounding mistakes that ultimately led to an avoidable accident. The biggest takeaway is that aviation is all about preparation and good decision-making. Whether it's ensuring proper authorization, checking the weather, maintaining clear communication, or managing altitude effectively, each step matters. If conditions start to deteriorate, the safest choice is to turn around, land, or ask for help before things become critical. A safe pilot is one who makes good decisions, even if that means postponing a flight. By learning from these lessons, we can all become better, safer pilots. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next videos.